What happens when you add Szechuan peppercorns to home cured bacon? Well, today we're going to find out. In this video, we're going to walk through the end-to-end process of curing and smoking your own bacon at home. We'll see a little bit of the breakdown of the pig before setting the bacon on cure and finally smoking it. And this is another video featuring my dad, who is the master of all pig parts and meats and all that good stuff. And if you were wondering why we chose to use Szechuan peppercorns, it's really as simple as we were in New York City, we had a hot pot that was made with Szechuan broth, decided to get some Szechuan peppercorns, and then we're like, let's make bacon with Szechuan peppercorns. So let's make some bacon. First, let's talk the breakdown of the pig. This is a pig that was raised and butchered by my dad. Here's the midsection of the pig, and he is separating the belly from the loin. Still attached to the belly are going to be the spare ribs. These are removed, and there you have a massive pork belly. First, we need to square this belly off for presentation. The excess can be used for sausage or something like that. Now, this is an absolutely massive pig belly, so we're going to split it up into two slightly smaller slabs. Once into two slabs, we weigh each one in order to calculate the weights of the cure mixture that we're going to need. This one ended up being around 6.4 kilograms, which is over 14 pounds of bacon. That's a big belly. That 6.4 kilograms is used to calculate our amounts for that cure mixture. Now, the more essential items for the cure are salt and cure number one. The other things like garlic or sugar powder are more for flavoring, just like our Szechuan peppercorns. I'll list the percentages that we use for each spice if you want to mimic our recipe. Also, since we did have two slabs of bacon, we decided to do one with cure number one and a vegetable stable cure made from celery powder. Now, in order for something to be cured, it usually has to have a form of nitrites. Cure number one is an instant source of synthesized nitrites, whereas celery powder is high in nitrates, which turn into nitrites during the curing. So why do we need nitrites in the first place? It gives bacon that beautiful color and prevents the bacteria like botulism from growing. Why would you want to use, natural over cure number one? From a chemistry level, these are both ways to provide nitrates to the bacon during curing. However, by using celery powder, if one was maybe selling this bacon, they could label it as nitrate-free, other than those naturally occurring in the celery powder. So at the end of this process, we're going to see if there's any differences from a color or texture or flavor perspective from the vegetable versus the cure number one. Other than that one ingredient, the process is the exact same for each slab. With all that cure talk out of the way, now we're going to mix our curing and spices and spread it all over the slab of bacon. You want to make sure it is evenly spread all over the outside, and now we're going to take this to a vacuum sealer to seal the package. And this bacon was so big, the first bag we picked was not quite big enough. Now, my dad has found that vacuum sealing is a really nice way for at-home bacon making to just keep everything really clean and contained. Now, for smaller bacon, slabs curing for 7 days will be sufficient. But for these large ones, we're going to let them go for 2 weeks in total. The ideal curing temperature should be between 36 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is right in line with the common refrigerator. After letting the bacon cure for 2 weeks, it is now time to prepare these for smoking. First, the bacon is removed from the vacuum seal bag, and then bacon hooks are pounded into the bacon so they can be hung in the smokehouse. We let these hang in the smokehouse without starting the fire to actually help them dry out a bit so they can help take on that smoky flavor. Now, my dad has a large smokehouse, but this could be done at home with a small Weber grill or an electric smoker. Just like the kielbasa video, the fire is set in the side compartment which feeds into the main compartment. If you remember in that kielbasa video though, we were hot smoking, meaning the sausage is cooked when we are done with smoking. However, for the bacon, what we are doing is really warm smoking it. What's the difference? Well, warm smoking imparts all of the smoky flavor, but does not actually cook the food. It's smoked at a lower temperature, generally 73 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and a much longer time. Due to the large size of this bacon slab, we let it smoke for 24 hours, so see you in the morning. The next morning it's time to open up the smokehouse and retrieve our bacon. And here it is in all its glory of that morning sunlight. Now there's only a couple things that we have to do before we can enjoy this. First, we need to remove the skin, which is much easier to do when it's warm right after the smoker. Using his boning knife, my dad removes that, and now we're going to let this bacon cool in the fridge before slicing. About an hour or two before slicing, we actually pop the slab into the freezer just so it helps firm up a little bit and slices that much easier. That sounds good. Here's a first look at that cross section. The vegetable stable cure is on the right and the cure number 1 is on the left. After slicing in, there's really not a very noticeable difference in color. The cure number 1 may be a tad more rosy and pink like the bacon as we know it, but really after a 2-week cure, we didn't find any noticeable differences between the two. Now we're going to run the bacon slab through the slicer, grab a couple slices, and we can fry these bad boys up. You're going to place the bacon in a cold cast iron and bring it up to heat. Now, this bacon has a lot of fat, so it's going to render out. This could be saved for tortillas, frying up eggs or vegetables. Definitely do not get rid of your bacon fat. Always try to save that and use it for something else. Also, I had a fresh sandwich loaf that I was testing out of the oven for hopefully a video that's coming later this week, but since I had it, a bacon sandwich was the obvious option to enjoy. Lay down the toast with a little bit of mayo, top that with some nice pickled onions and those thick bacon slices. Added some lettuce so it's healthy, and yeah, I only made a half sandwich. This was like 3 in the afternoon, but look at that cross section nonetheless. One bite and my oh my, is that a flavorful sandwich. The Szechuan Peppercorns provide this nice floral flavor without the tingly feeling if you actually eat one whole. So hopefully you all learned a little bit about the end-to-end process of making bacon yourself, all the way from breaking down the pig to setting it on cure and smoking it before you can finally slice it up and fry it up and use it in however you want to use it. You know, there's actually quite a bit that goes into bacon that I feel like a lot of us don't think about, you know, when we just grab a pound package from the store. And there actually is kind of this big process that goes into it that kind of leads to that beautiful, fatty, smoky meat product that we all love. Also, another video to look out before, like I mentioned when I was cutting up that bread, I am planning to do a beginner's guide to sandwich bread. I think I'm gonna do like regular white sandwich bread, maybe like a whole wheat bread with like some nuts or something, and then a cinnamon swirl bread, something like that. Loose ideas right now. But if you guys are new to the channel and enjoyed it, definitely subscribe so you guys can know when that video is gonna come out. But that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Hopefully you all enjoyed. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.